Hey guys, it's Brian from BDR GEAR here, and I was asked to do a shop tour, so I figured I'd show you what I have going on over here. But before I do, I'm going to explain a little bit about my shop. My shop is a small space I rent from the storefront down from my apartment. So this back room is filled with a lot of their stuff for that, and you know, I tarp it off when I'm working down here so I don't get a mess everywhere. But yeah, this is my current shop setup. Every day when I come down here, I usually have a list from Brittany of all the knucks that need to be done that day. And that's my workload, among other things. I always get sidetracked with side projects, but that's, you know, to be expected, I guess, for me. But I carry this box here up and down from the shop everywhere I go. And in here, you have just about everything I've been working on. I like these tubes. When I'm gonna do a pimp job on a knife, I can keep all of the parts in these tubes. I'm gonna make a blue and black nano scale there. But I have just all kinds of rivets for the kydex, knucks. I have enough here that it was a replacement for a guy I made. This was my very first design, and I need to repolish it and stamp it, but he has never contacted me back with his shipping info, so that just rests in here for now. But yeah, this is like my catch-all going back and forth from the house. Oops. Got my acrylic glow beads and that. Yeah, so anyway, over here, this workbench here is pretty much my workstation. That's about all I have. Let me turn the volume down. I have my phone plugged in here. Easy reach for Instagramming. I guess I'll start at the end here. You got the Rockstar Energy. You have to have that in a knuck shop, especially when you work as many hours as I do. This is a part-time venture for me. I have my good old Harbor Freight buffer. This is what everything gets finished on. And one thing about the buffer is I have a separate wheel. Let me grab them here. A separate wheel for each material I use. That one's for G10. This one here is for aluminum. This denim wheel I used for brass and copper. They can be used. And then this one here obviously is CF is for carbon fiber, because that gets a little messy. Going over here, you have my official sign that Brian is not currently working, and that is when my respirator and my shop apron are hanging up. Let me get those out of the way. We have the Ryobi drill press, which I am very pleased with. I was just going to get a Harbor Freight one like everybody else tends to do, but this one has suited my needs. Change the speeds up here. Just like a standard press. One cool thing about it, other than the work light, which most do have now, it also has a laser, so you can see right where you're about to drill. That's pretty neat. Got a Harbor Freight drill press vise here. I always lose the truck key, so I keep that right underneath of it. Going over, we have this piece of equipment here, which I don't really use too much, to be honest. It's a Harbor Freight 1x30 sander. I thought I'd use it a lot more than I do. Yeah, I hardly ever use it. I had plans of getting some aluminum angle and run it down this way, and another piece here to bolt through the case here. And this is going to be a horizontal grinder in the future. And I actually found a guy who is going to machine new pulleys. And what that's going to enable me to do is choose which size pulley I want on the front here, so I can have different radiuses, and then I have to just change out the other one subsequently to make up the same belt size. So he's working on those for me. He's going to machine those out. That just sits there. I got my main baby here. This is the Craftsman 2x42. You know, I leave this loose. When I do use it, I fix it with the bolts that it's provided, but I have it loose because it's easiest to change out the belts. A lot of people cut the rest here, but I don't find that necessary. It changes pretty easily just through the side there. Works great for what it is. I am going to be upgrading to a 2x72 pretty soon. Probably a fear grinder. I have not quite decided what I'm going to get yet. And a lot of people ask me, I have made knives on this. I did replace the platen with another one because this one just wasn't flat. So I had a guy make up one of those that was true. But a lot of people ask me how I make knives on this, especially when I do the hollow ground, and it's kind of tricky. What I do is, let me get over here. It's got this stand on the side there. So what I'll actually do is I'll rest it down flat. And it's funny because this actually does tilt so that you can do this. I never really do it. But what I do is I take off this guard here, and I usually work when I grind right here. And it's funny. I'm going to use my shop beater knife, a little M-Tech flea market knife. This is what I use when I'm mad and need to throw things or something, you know. I will grind, you know, you stand it with your tip up this way, and then what I do for the other side is I go completely blind on it, and I'll actually grind facing downward, down here. Because I don't have enough room to grind upwards this way because I run into the case. So what I'll do is if I'm grinding this side of the blade, I'll grind, you know, the top first, and then I'll flip it a half turn, and I will grind this way on the belt, or on the wheel. So that's how I do my hollow ground blades when I do those. Then to finish them out, because I can't find belts finer than 240, what I will do, pardon me, let me sit this back up. Anyway, what I do when I want to finish out the blade with a satin, I take the wheel off, or the belt off, and what I'll do is I use spray contact adhesive, and I'll just put strips of sandpaper around that in higher grits, and then I'll grind on the wheel just like I have. But it's kind of like a little drum sander then. And then this baby here is my oscillating spindle sander. I use this mainly, I used to use this to do the inside of the knuck. I got my Scooby-Doo dunk bucket. Yeah. But I used to use this to do the inside of the knucks before I would hand finish them. I don't really use this much anymore, to be honest. What I have used in lieu of that are these drums, because I can get higher grit paper on these drums, so it requires less hand finishing. But yeah, there's that. As you look up, I have this fluorescent work light. And I got all kinds of scraps in here, just from everything. I don't know. I save every scrap I can, because I never know when I can use it. But I have my clamps up here. I don't do much gluing, except for the laminated knucks, and those I do up in my apartment. So my clamps for that are up there, because I actually have to boil those. I don't have to boil them. I have to get them to 180 degrees for the adhesive I use to set. Got more drums down there for the spindle sander. Got peanuts there. Over here I have new or like new belts. I have the 1x30s and the 2x42s. And I have Thor. He likes to forge some stuff for me occasionally. But then up here is where I keep all of my worn and spent belts. And like I said, I don't like to throw anything away, because even though these are like completely worn, I can't use these sometimes when I just need to take a little off and I'm afraid, you know, something I could easily screw up with a newer belt. I'll use an older belt. So that's why I keep those around. Up across here are things that I lose frequently, up on the shelf, or things I don't want to get damaged, like for instance this cobaltium and nickel silver mokum, whatever you call it. But I have that for the Love Tap project. And speaking of the Love Tap project, I have all those packaged up. I bought a new sheet of copper because I was drilling them out and everything by hand. It got to take a little bit too long because copper is just a pain in the butt. So I actually bought a new plate and of copper, and I have that ready to be sent out to WaterJet as soon as I get contacted back for that. Up here I have the glow powder that I do the dots with. You've seen the wheels. And then I just keep my keys and my phone up here. And then what I use for my buffer, I don't actually use the Harbor Freight compounds anymore, but these tubes are so handy. Because what I get this, they come in a blister pack, and I get this online. I forget the manufacturer, but it's a far better compound. But I do like keeping it in these tubes, so I have all my buffing compounds there within reach of the buffer. I got my face shield for when I am using the angle grinder. Then I have these two large drawers, and these are never really organized. When you look inside the drawer, we have all kinds of sanding paper. I keep every little scrap I have because I don't know when I'm going to need it or use it, so I have tons of sandpaper. I have a couple of these foam sanding blocks I don't really use too much. I got some Kydex down there. I got my heat gun for the Kydex. I have my angle grinder for when I'm cutting out material. I got a couple of hammers, black nitro gloves, cut-off blades, work gloves, some material that was sent to me wrongly. They're obviously the wrong thickness. These are supposed to be over a ½ inch thick, and they're 3/16. So that's just chilling there until I can get that figured away and sent back. I have my stamp set here. A copper coupling I was going to do something with. Got my shop snack. Got a drill bits here. I have a Dremel accessory kit and a Dremel here, which I just got those for Christmas. And I don't use those too much, but occasionally. I have a hand drill, which I do not use anymore, in rags. And then as we go to the second drawer here, I have a silverware divider that keeps some of my bits and tools and things. Over here is where I keep all the plugs for my cuts. And some of these I turn into beads. I don't know, I just keep everything. Those are from the annular cutter. I have all kinds of scraps. I don't throw anything away. I experiment on a lot of stuff. I have two massive chunks of 6AL 4V titanium, which is fun to play with. I was making a knuck, but the hand filing got to be too much. Until I get a mill, those are just on the back burner. I have some aluminum knuckless pendants that I was working on. I sell those as I finish them now. I just have some miscellaneous tools and a Sharpie there. Replacement spindles there. I have some car wax that I use on some finishes, and I have the work rest from the 1x30. Over here I just have all kinds of random work material. And here I have my spindles and some more just random stuff. I'm not too organized. My sister got me a precision screwdriver set, which works good on some knives. I'm not sure where she got it, but actually the Torx bits have not stripped yet, which is surprising. And a precision file set for Christmas she got me. And I'm going to be using this for on some file work I'm going to be doing soon. Got another set of drill bits there. Over here is where I keep my to-be-made knucks. I have a bunch of aluminum. I was going to do more than 25 of the original aluminum run. I held off on that to do some other stuff, so I do have some aluminum here. I will be doing more of those. I have a big old chunk of copper there. I just got this in today. This is a big old piece of brass, and I already have it measured out for all the knucks. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 dual strikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dual strike CCs, and a little bit of extra off the end that I will be doing. I just got these in. 3 of these are going to Andy at TacOpsGear.de to finish out his order of 10 that got held up in customs, and I have to remake the deal. Hopefully I'm going to be getting those back. It's just been a huge ordeal. So I am remaking those for him. I just got 3 more I'm going to finish up tonight, or tonight or tomorrow, and I will be done with those. The rest will be for sale as I get them done. Got the box for my drill press, got my junk bucket. Down here I have a granite cutting board that I use when I do Kydex, and I have my shop broom there. But yeah, other than that, that is everything I use to make knucks. I still do a lot of hand filing and a ton of hand sanding. And that's really what goes into part of the cost of the knuck is my time. Although I don't account for too much because I like to keep my knucks as low priced as I can. I know some makers are like cashing in on the craze. And others I don't feel are cashing in on the craze because they do a lot of work. A lot of manual milling, and that takes time too, you know. So they're priced appropriately, but there's just some shoddy work by some amateur knuck makers now that is, and I say that, hobbyist I should say. I'm still an amateur knuck maker. I've only been doing this for about 10 months. But before that I used to do beads exclusively on my lathe at my father's house, which I do no longer work there once in a while. But when I say hobbyist knuck maker, what I'm meaning is somebody who doesn't pay taxes. Somebody who, isn't a registered business like myself, and I know of only 2 other knuck makers at all that are technically a registered business. And I would definitely give my money to them over everybody else because they do pay their taxes, they do good work, they take pride in what they do. Like I said, a lot of people are just cashing in on the craze. It's crazy. I don't know. I do it because I love it. Oh, one thing I'm seeing here. This is a random thing, but this back area where I work used to be like a restaurant or something. There's actually, through this door over here, I'm hoping maybe one day I can rent that little room as a dirty room for grinding, but there is a huge vent hood that goes up and out the roof. So there used to be like a fryer or something in there, but this is all hand painted. This is how old this building is. There was a 3 horsepower compressor in this box, a Hobart meat grinder, and a chicken picker. Also, something really funny about the electrical in this place is if you look here, the phone number to call for electrical service is L292. It's a 3-digit phone number. So that makes me feel real safe when I'm down here running all kinds of machinery. But anyway, that's my shop. I gotta get to work tonight. I've already spent 16 minutes on the shop tour, 17. I'm sorry if the camera was shaky. I'm carrying around the camera on the tripod. I try not to shake too much, but you guys can expect some more videos from me coming out pretty soon of me working, grinding, stuff like that. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you for all your support, and you guys have a good one.